Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. We are so excited you guys have joined us today on our National Zoom Property Tour. We do these every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, where we get to share one of our investor or team investors uh, a current deal that they're doing or one of their deals that they're doing. And so today we're going to be bringing out Ron here in just a minute. Welcome on, Tamara. It's good to see you. Um, and again, guys, we do these every Saturday morning, and it's really a neat thing that you guys are here today. We love sharing what our investors are doing from our community across the country. And um, again, we do these every Saturday. My name is I'm your host. We also have in the scenes to get everybody into the chat here and or into the room. So uh, we have today a great property tour lined out for you. And Ron, can you log on here or come off mute?
Hey, how's it going? I'm
It's
excited to be here.
good. Let me turn off the screen share and we'll see it. There, we got you, Ron.
Hey, how's it
Hey.
going?
It's going
How's it going,
fantastic.
everybody?
It's so good. It's so good to see you out and obviously sharing. You're going to be sharing with us a short-term rental. Again, we've been doing these for gosh, I've been doing them for over 3 years now, and these property tours. And we've featured so many different investors from around the country that are on our team. And I think this is the first. Is this the first time we've had you out on Saturday?
Yeah, yeah. It's first time I'm here.
That's amazing. That's
I've been a
amazing.
guest. I've been a guest a lot of times, but this is the first time I'm here showcasing my deal. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, that's great. So, Ron, today, we've got a lot of people on that have never, seen anything of our community. This might be the first time that they've plugged into anything, that they've
Mhm.
checked anything out, and they're trying to see what this is all about. What is real estate investing about, or what's this community about? What is this group about? How can it help them? you know, Whether maybe they've already done a deal or two and they want to take their business to the next level, or maybe they just want to get started, whether it's in long-term rentals or short-term rentals or fix and flip or, multifamily. And so they're out checking it out today. And of course, with this being your first time being out on our property tour on a Saturday, a
Yeah.
lot of people are not going to know who you are. So let's share with everybody a little bit about your background, like, pre investor, what were you doing? And then kind of why you decided to become a real estate investor. And then the big thing is why did you connect with our
Okay, I think you got cut off, but thank you for having me again. I'm humbled to be here. Um, Again, I was a teacher. I was an educator for many years. I was a musician for many years, and I think what sparked my interest in investing was that Purple Book. We all know what the Purple Book is, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm not sure who put it in my path, but ever since reading that book, it kind of changed my trajectory and what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be an artist, but I didn't understand that artist meant was also meaning being an entrepreneur, doing your own thing and having your own freedom and time freedom. And with that book, I realized that my spending habits were a little different, and I know that real estate was like the mainstay or the main thing for wealth generation, and in that wealth would give me the time freedom to do whatever I wanted, and that's kind of what I wanted to do. So after reading that book, I was really pursuing real estate investing knowledge, and I did the usual thing that everybody do. We do the YouTube, we do books, and I made just a cautionary tale. I made a huge mistake back in the day. I'm not gonna say what year it is because I'll tell you how old I am. But I made a huge mistake years ago, getting into a deal with very little knowledge and not the best or not the most upright support. And I ended up losing my shirt, losing the deal. And it was a really humbling situation. And I thank the Lord, I guess, just for my family and support system that made me feel a lot, realize I can overcome it. If I do it differently this time, I know real estate is the mainstay. I know every millionaire has it in their portfolio. I just got to do it the right way. I can't do it half. I can't say the word. I can't do it halfway. And I needed support and I needed systems. I knew YouTube wasn't enough. I couldn't bring YouTube to the closing table with me. It didn't work. So I was looking and I found a meeting. I found a meetup. Anybody from Meetup? Put an M in the chat. I found a meetup and I came to a meeting and I met some really, really energetic and hyper people. And I was like, what's going on? Why is everybody so happy here? What's going on? And I sat the meeting. And again, I was still a little arrogant. I figured I knew the terms. I'll just learn a nugget and I'll go. And I came back, then they said, well, come back next week and see one of our courses on debt elimination. Because I had a lot of debt at the time and that really intrigued me. So I went to the debt elimination strategy and it blew my mind. I was like, wow, like, I mean, if they have these little nuggets, what else do they have? And then the following week, they were like, well, come back and see a live deal. Come meet some of our investors and see how they're doing it. Go live to the property and see, see the numbers and see everything. I was like, you sure you're going to show me everything? That's weird. But I'm like, okay, I'll go. So I went and that was pivotal just to see the support, see everybody working together, see they was actually sharing information and sharing knowledge and really helpful. And everybody was just really positive. And I was blown away. I joined the community after that, and it's been a blessing ever since. Well, I don't know if I went too long-winded, but that's
No, that was really good, Ron. I mean, and what's so cool about telling your story is that there are a lot of people on today that can resonate with your story. They can like, okay, that's me. Yeah, I experienced that. Yeah, I did a real estate deal before I knew what I needed to know. I love that saying, you don't know what you don't know. And we all experience that through our lives. And so I'm so glad you shared your story. That was very powerful. And again, thank you very much. So you're a part of our community. How long have you been connected with our group, with our team?
Oh man, I think it's three magical years. I think something like that. 3 magical years. I'm not sure.
Fantastic. Fantastic. 3 years. And you are based out of where? So for everybody knows.
Oh, I'm in Queens, New York, the best borough in New York. Just joking.
There you go.
Queens, New York.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I think we got a couple of the other folks from New York that are not in Queens. They may differ with you, but that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. That's okay. So I love going to New York City. Gosh, it's one of my favorite places to visit. But so again, been involved in the community 3 years. You did the kind of the normal deal which people do. They get connected with Rich Dad Poor Dad, and it just like changes people's life. I mean, it's really a big mindset change, wasn't it, Ron?
Oh man,
reading that book, your mindset just completely changes. And so you started coming to some meetings. Like today, there's folks on that are on this property tour. And for you or on, guys, throughout this hour-long property tour, if you get some golden nuggets and you get some information that like, wow, I like this. I want to learn more about this community and about this team of investors that's nationwide. I mean, here I am in the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky market in the Midwest, and Ron's in Queen, and I know Ron, and I know a lot of the folks that he works with up in that area. And, so we collaborate with each other, we travel, we go to great trainings and meetings across the country together. And so we are a really great network of folks and very, very resourceful and so many different things that can help anybody out. But right after today, like 5 after the top of the hour, we have a live introduction to our community because Ron's, going to share most of his time about his deal and how he found it, how he did the deal, the numbers, things like that. So the Zoom right after this is on a different link. So get back with whoever invited you, and they can get you set up with that link, and you can learn a lot more about our community. And that's right after this, about 5 after the top of the hour. So Ron, you got connected with our group. Today you're sharing a short-term rental property. And do you have one short-term rental? Do you have more than one?
I have one, and I'm in negotiations for another one. So
Fantastic. Okay, fantastic. And I had asked you beforehand if this short-term rental was an arbitrage model, which is basically where you go in and you rent something and you actually use that as a short-term rental. You don't actually buy the property and tie up capital in the asset itself or the investment. And you were talking about you got a different strategy going on with this. So let's go ahead and start talking about this deal. Tell everybody kind of why short rental too. That's one strategy out of a ton of different strategies that can be done in real estate investing. But why short-term rentals?
To be honest, to go back a little bit, I didn't even know short-term rentals existed, to be honest, before I got with this community. And I thought I was going to be a flipper or a wholesaler. I mean, wholesaling, everybody on YouTube makes it sound like the easiest thing you can do. So I thought that I'd go in being a wholesaler. So, and getting with the community and seeing the education, I realized what resonates with me is passive income. I like to have my time freedom. And I felt that, just for me, this is Ron's thing. I think wholesaling is a lot of time, a lot of calling, a lot of follow-up, creating lists, and you do have to spend money to dispel the myth. You do have to spend money as a wholesaler to get lists and get leads, unless you want to door knock for hours and hours on end. That's up to you. So the strategy just sounded interesting to me, and the deal kind of fell in my lap. So I was out there talking about wanting to do real estate with my friends and family, and my best friend was telling me about his girlfriend in Virginia and how her mother's thinking about selling her property. And I was like, really, I'm interested. Where is it? What is it about? Just tell me some things about the property. And he sent me a picture of it. And I started doing my due diligence. Like our education tells you to do your due diligence, check the area, understand what's going on. And I just noticed that there were some things that might be, advantageous in the area, some hospitals in the area, rental properties, and I have family not too far. So it was a good idea. So when I'll show you, shall I show the picture now of the property, or?
Yeah, sure, you can. Absolutely. So you found this property, you got it under contract, correct?
Well, I saw, you see my screen? I think I can do it. Yeah. So this is me. Yeah. So that day that he told me about the property, I said, well, I think we were at national conference actually this year, and I got the video, the picture of the property. She told me a little bit about it, and I took time to go see it, and I can kind of show you. Well, we can skip that. Well, I decided to, again, before I did all that, I ran some numbers on the area, looked at it, and I said, well, let me see what the property looks like to see if I'm even interested. Does it need to be gutted? Does it need to be retransformed? And he said, no, it's in pretty good shape. I'll have her send you a video. And if you want, I can show the video of what I saw that day.
Fantastic.
Sure, it's a quick 2-minute video. So this is the video that my friend's girlfriend sent to me. Oh, I can't show it. Oh, what? Go back. I just saw it. Oh no. Was it an epic fail? What happened? Let me see if I have it someplace else. I just showed that. Anyway, I can show the pictures. We can just skip through that. If I can, I'll just show the pictures because I don't know why the video isn't working. Oh, there it is.
There you go.
Okay. If it will play, it'd be great. Okay. Maybe it's just slow. Maybe it was just delayed. I don't know.
Maybe we could just show the pictures if it doesn't want to respond for you.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't
Well,
know if
it's
we want.
thinking about it. It's thinking about it right now.
It is thinking about it.
It's firing up.
All right, I'll just show the pictures because I can't wait for that.
Yeah,
If it
let's go to
pops
the
up, it pops up. So yeah, when I saw the property, and, this is what it looked like. The lady is a lady living by herself, and her daughter wasn't nearby. She kept it in pretty good shape. It was just her. She had 2 bathrooms. They didn't look like they were didn't like it needed any major work, which was great for me because I'm not a handy person, and I didn't want to do any. I'm a really, since my last fix and flip situation, I really didn't want to do anything with fix and flip. That's just not my thing. And again, she kept all the bedrooms in pretty good shape. She already had decor in it. And she had mentioned that the reason her mom wanted to sell was because I think one of her relatives had passed away in the home, and it just had a bad, just feeling for her to be in the house. So she wanted to move out. So this is the property. As you can see, she kept it in pretty good order. Not, again, nothing major. I was looking for anything major to have happen, but to me, it was just all cosmetic, which was awesome. Oh, so it was all cosmetic. So I decided to talk to her. We had to sit down one day. I didn't have the funds to buy the property, but because of our classes, creative acquisition class, we learned strategies on how to obtain properties without all the funds. So I did the lease option, which is sort of like what you do with your car. You can buy a car off lease. You can buy a house off lease. You make a down payment, and you set up monthly payments. And at the end, you could either have the option to buy it, or you can give it back. So me and her, agreed upon a price, and I got it on the contract for 15 months. I want to give myself some leeway to get the capital, and we agreed upon a monthly fee. And she moved into she wasn't in a rush, which was great. So she moved into another apartment, and I had the property, I think around June. So that's what that is. I learned a lot. Again, I realized, even though I am good with artistic, I needed a lot of help. And thank the Lord, Yvonne McLean is on the line. I reached out to one of our team members. Thank God for the team. Because during this process, I was talking to a lot of my mentors about the deal because, again, this is my first short-term rental. And I guess what gave me a lot of the confidence was the systems and the classes we have. The classes are very extensive. I mean, it shows you everything from what sheets to buy to how to have the conversation with the seller to what kind of insurance, everything. So don't feel like, okay, what do I have to do? We really have the blueprint for what you need to do in short-term rentals. And again, I advise everybody to just don't do it on your own. Seek some kind of counsel because you don't know what you don't know. And I always try to use myself as a cautionary tale. Don't just do this willy-nilly. Real estate has no ceiling how much you can make, but it also has no floor. So be very, very careful. Seek some kind of counsel and support. And again, I have it in spades nationwide here. So, and having to read to get this house ready, I called upon my team member, Yvonne, and I said, listen, I need help. I mean, I can put together a good outfit, but I can't put together a house. I'm not that good. And I know my limitations. So thank the Lord, again, this community is awesome. She jumped into action and she helped me, remodel, remodel and redecorate the house. I was going to do a little. She convinced me to do a lot. So, because I was going to keep a lot of things that she had there. I was going to keep the bedspread. I was going to keep the carpet. And when she came, she was like, "Ron, you got to get rid of, you got to gut it. You got to get rid of everything." And I did. Thank the Lord. Thank you for that. And so this is how it looks now. I got a dining table, I got couches, I bought a couch, I changed everything. The lady did leave one bed. I think she left one bed, a bookshelf, a desk. So she was really helpful. She left the washer and dryer. So we really made it was a really sweet deal. I really couldn't pass up on it. Even though I was nervous, I couldn't pass up on it because she was very giving and she left a lot of things for me to start with. And the kitchen was in great condition, the refrigerator. So it wasn't a lot of expenses for me at the time. So again, we just did all this in like 3 days. I think it was a weekend, me and Yvonne and I had some handyman come in and out because I'm not handy again. And put the TVs up in every room and put together all the furniture and just, get it cleaned out and get my guests in there. So again, I learned from the community how to, when I did my due diligence, I realized there was 3 hospitals within the area. I think there's a Veterans Hospital, there's VCU Hospital, there's a Scoyers Hospital. So I just like, listen, I think this is where I'm going to go. And I think one of our team members had mentioned the site called Fortune Furnish Finders. And that kept sticking in my head, like Furnish Finders, what is that? And it's about traveling nurses. And that's the market I targeted. I targeted traveling nurses because I was really leery of long-term tenants. Being in this community for 3 years and being around investors for years, you are always wary about the tenant and tenants' rights. And, and they could stay, especially with COVID happened, you can have that moratorium on rents. I was really scared of that. So I like short-term rentals. I like people in, they're out, they have no ownership. They stay for a certain amount of time and then they go. And nurses to me were the perfect people because they already have a home in another state. They're traveling here on a short 60 days, 90 day stays. They have the money to pay for it. And it was awesome. So I'm jumping around here, but this is I'm just getting all my thoughts out.
No,
so.
you're doing
Yeah.
great. A lot of great compliments.
Yeah.
It looks really nice, really bright and inviting.
Yeah.
So
Oh, what I
great
did,
job to you. Go ahead.
sorry. What I did do is I painted it. Sorry, I painted some of the rooms as well. Maybe.
Yeah, we could tell that. You could tell that in your pictures. You had done some painting, but it made all the difference in the world. But yes, it looks really good.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Yvonne, for all that. Because again, there was fights over pillows, fights over curtains, but we got it done. But it was a learning curve and a learning, and it was just really exciting to do it. I wanted to make it really inviting. I'm really big on customer experience because I think customer experience will lead to more people telling them about my property. My company's called HomeAway Rentals, and I just want to make sure I had a great experience for them. And so I want to make sure everything was clean. I had 2 bathrooms. That was a big plus. I want to make sure that I could, if I had 1 or 2 tenants in there, that they had separate bathrooms, to get more income. So I decided to break it up into bedrooms instead of renting the whole house out. So I had traveling nurses who want to stay in 1 bedroom because most of the time they come, they work long hours, they just want to sleep, have a clean place to sleep, and then go back to work. So I decided to divide the rooms up, and I left 1 room that I'm going to build up later on as an office. I'm going to leave as an office place. So I currently have 2 nurses in there, paying per bedroom. So yeah. Any questions, comments?
Awesome. So
Yeah.
we did have a question a little while ago. I know you use Furnish Finders, but did you make contacts out to the 3 hospitals, or did you make any marketing with them?
I did, but I didn't make much leeway. But in the beginning, I was getting so much traction from Furnish Finders and nursing. There's a lot of nursing Facebook groups. So I got a lot of activity from that. I do have it on other platforms because I saw a slowdown. So I do have it on Airbnb and VRBO. And I recently put it on corporate housing by owner as well, just to give myself a lot of leeway. I want to have it planned out for the next couple of months. I just updated these pictures. I'm really proud of that. These pictures are just updated from a professional because my pictures weren't really doing it. Pictures do matter a lot. So make sure you don't skimp on your pictures, have professional pictures. I did skimp for a while and I noticed that it was a little lull in my bookings. So that's important. So two tenants with one common one main entrance, but there's a back, you can use the back door as well as another entrance.
So, from when you actually got this deal going, how long did it take you to get it ready for your first renters?
It was quick. I took it over for 3 days. I think me and Yvonne did it in 3 days. I came down
Wow.
I think I came down on a Thursday, came down this Friday, and we just, we worked the weekend and got it done. But again, it wasn't a lot. It was just a lot of just decor. It wasn't, too much, painting was already done. The painting was done like a day before, which is good. So I didn't have to do the painting. The painters came like 2 days before. So that was one of the biggest projects, the painting.
Okay. Okay. So you didn't actually paint it yourself. You had someone do it.
Ron does not get dirty. Ron does not believe in dirty. I'd rather have somebody. I'm not good at that. I know my strengths. I'm not good.
Hey,
I'm not
Ron, there's
do that.
going to be a lot of people on here that can relate to that. So no problem, brother. No problem. So you got it ready in, I know Bobby Johnson's laughing. So you got it ready in about 3 days. And then how long did it take before you got your first renters?
I already had some. I think I had somebody locked in. That's what we had to do in 3 days. I had somebody locked in for the night. I think we did it in 3 days. I think I had somebody come in that same Sunday or Monday. It was either Sunday or Monday. That's why I rushed, because I had somebody. I put the pictures up as soon as I got it under contract. I put the basic pictures that you saw here. I put those pictures up on Furnish Finders just to get a tenant, just to get that going, because I knew the clock was ticking on me. And I got a taker. Somebody came. I think her name was Tanya, I believe. And I had Tanya ready to go. I'm like, great. So I had it, I think a week to get it together. I think she was going to start in a week. So I had the painters come, and then I did the rest of the stuff and had her booked. So it was quick. I had her booked in maybe less. I think it was about a week to book it, I believe.
Right. And then, so each bedroom has a pretty good heavy duty secured lock on each one. Is that keyless?
Yeah,
or is that-
for the I want to make sure they felt safe. So I have a lock on each door. The lady owner already had a nice cameras outside. So I have cameras. I can see my property now on all 4 sides, which I felt was really great. And that makes, your tenants feel safe. So, yeah.
Well, wonderful. Now, so what is the average room rate? What do you charge for each room?
Anywhere between 11 to 1,300 per room.
11 to 1,300 a month per room.
Yeah. I think it might be
Okay.
going up soon, because I'm going to add some things to that spare bedroom. So but that's where it is right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, good, again, a lot of good compliments. Great job, folks. Christy loves the tables and rugs.
That's a Walmart table. Doesn't it look good? That's a cheap Walmart table, but it worked out.
Yeah. Francis is asking if she wants to know what sites you went on. Did you go on Furnish Finders first and then you added the others? How did you do that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I went on Furnish Finders first. I did do some analysis first. So I always say, do your analysis. Don't just jump in. Please, one of the things I learned about our education in our system is please do your due diligence. Don't just say, I got a property, I'll take it and do it. You got to do your due diligence. Make sure there's some activity in the area. Make sure you're not oversaturated, because there are people in short-term rental areas that are oversaturated and you can't be found. So I like the fact that my area was not too many people in my area. But there was a need with the hospitals. So yeah, just do your due diligence. Make sure there's something there that people want to go to and see.
Yep. So what was your budget for getting it ready from the moment you got it to putting all the furniture and the pictures and all the utensils and everything in? What was your budget on that?
My budget was, I think it was like around 5,000, something like that. I think it's in the numbers, but I have it there. That's what I was going to spend to get it ready.
And that includes beds, pictures, pots and pans, towels, sheets.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And what criteria did you use to determine 11 or 1300 or 1200 a month? How did you come up with that number?
I wish I don't have that slide here, but I did it by looking at the area and interest on Airbnb, AirDNA, and Furnish Finders, kind of like a combination of those to see what people were charging and what I could charge based on, how the aesthetics or how it looked or what I had. I knew I had an extra bathroom, which is a separate bathroom, which is a plus for a lot of people. Again, traveling nurses want their own privacy. They want a lot of them want their own entrance. So that's a big thing I'm working on next for my next one. But they want their own entrance and they want their own bathroom. Big. So I knew I had two bathrooms. That was a big plus. I knew it was a nice size house. It was clean. It was a quiet street, which was a bonus. I want to make sure that they were safe in a safe environment. The street is very, very quiet. So I felt really comfortable sharing that, letting them know that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've had a lot of good compliments again, questions. You said that the property is fairly close to the three hospitals.
Yes, like within, I think, 5 to 10 miles of those three hospitals and the VCU College, which is another bonus.
Okay.
The airport is about an hour, maybe an hour away. So there's a lot of different things that weren't pretty good. Again, it just fell into my lap. I didn't really do analysis on Richmond, but now that I found the area, I love it. And I think it's like my second home now. So yeah.
Yeah, Richmond, Virginia is a very cool place.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
So do you allow more than one occupant per bedroom?
That's what I want to move towards. I want to make the other spare office. I don't think I have a picture of it here. I want to make the other spare office, get a day bed in there and have it so that somebody can bring a partner. My only thing with somebody bringing a partner was, I was talking about that yesterday with a friend of mine. I don't know what that partner is doing. Is that partner going to be there all day just using electronics and heat, or is that person going to work? So I don't know. I have to offset the price for that. So I have to probably change the prices because that extra person, the extra body, I don't know what they're doing. They're staying at home. So that means they're doing more water, more gas, more oil, more heat all day while the other person's working. So I may have to just adjust for that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So was there any concern with either of the two tenants when both bedrooms are occupied, sharing a living room and a kitchen?
Well, in doing my research, the biggest things that cause problems in houses is cleaning, is fights over how things are cleaned, and I want to make sure that I have a cleaning person come every month. I have my girl Tiffany. I don't think she's here. Tiffany does my cleaning every month. She's awesome. She does it spotless. So I have the places, the common areas cleaned. But the great thing about my property manager, I saw a property manager. I'll talk about that in a minute. The great thing about traveling nurses is that they work so many hours. My property manager says, Ron, I haven't been there actually in 5 months, by the way. My property manager told me that Ron is just how you left it. They go in their rooms, they go to sleep, they go to work, they may cook something, but that's it. The place looks exactly how you left it. And so, which is awesome.
Absolutely. And then for folks who got on late, this is not an arbitrage model. This is, and he did not buy it outright. He's actually doing a lease option.
Yes.
On the property. We have that question pop in here. So again, the indications are the factors that kind of leaned you toward the short-term rental was the hospitals and the college. Was that the main things the fact that it wasn't oversaturated. There wasn't a ton of available inventory for people to rent.
Exactly.
And you mentioned fairly quickly, but you talked about the Airbnb DNA.
Yes, AirDNA. AirDNA is a great way to, it tells you, it gives your area a grade. I think my area got an A or B. So it gives you an area. So that's based on, I guess, trends and how many people are renting. And then you can also see it by full house or by single bedroom. So it really gives you a comprehensive, it is not free, $99, by the way. So I bought my area and I was just checking that area based on, again, you do your analysis. Don't be lazy. It took me a week or so to really go through my numbers, and it's monotonous and it's not fun, but it's the things you need to do to make sure your business runs well. I try to tell people this is not all sexy and decorating. It is some numbers, and you have to make sure make sure you understand your market very through and through. I went there a couple times doing visits, driving around, and make sure I understood my market, make sure I understood what was close, and it was good to have a property manager. I got to talk a little bit about her. And speaking to the owner when going down there to negotiate, me and my best friend's girlfriend became close, and I said, well, I was looking for a property manager, just any handy for first people around the area. And she was like, well, if it's not a conflict of interest, I could take care of the property. I know the property. I'm pretty handy, and I could, do it. So we negotiated the price, and she's my property manager. I find all my tenants, so I didn't really want to pay a lot for a property manager, just being really honest. A lot of my stuff is digital. I mean, I take care of all the funds electronically. So I don't need anybody to really kick anybody out, and I didn't need anybody to chase anybody for rent. So I felt like I didn't need to pay a lot for a property manager. Again, this is just Ron's thinking. And she fell right into that caveat of, okay, I just, just give me something to take care of it. And I give a little bonuses, like when a new tenant comes in and she takes care of that, and I don't have to leave New York, I give her a couple extra dollars to take care of it. So, she's awesome. But
Nice.
that's it.
We got a couple more questions, and then let's get to the
Sure.
numbers. Do you have any kind of, when a nurse comes in or someone comes in for 60, 90 days, do you have a certain kind of a contract or something that you use?
Yes, I have a vacation a rental contract that I use. And I make sure they get renter's insurance. I have a criteria. My criteria is this. I want to see your credit score. I want to see your contract, a copy of your contract, so I know that you have a contract. And I want to see, I want you to get renter's insurance, and I want a deposit. So those are my three criteria,
Awesome.
4 criteria. So make sure I'm getting good people. If you can't provide those, then you're not really a good applicant, and I don't want to deal with it.
Sure, absolutely. And then you talked about you had a budget of about 5,000 to get that made ready, to paint some walls, to get it all decorated and get it all staged and ready to go for your tenants to live there. Did you do that out of pocket, or did you get funding on that? Did you get a partner on it? How did
I
you
had
do
some help
that?
from a family friend of mine. I can't say his name.
No.
Yeah.
So you use your network, your family
Yeah.
network. So your warm market, we
Mhm.
call it that, the warm market for folks. And are they a partner with you, or you did some terms with them?
Terms. Again, I learned that
Okay.
here. I did a nice little presentation. Again, one thing I love about this, if you're online worried about finding money for a deal, once you have an education in the system, and you know how to present a deal to somebody, you'll find lenders. You'll find people will give you money. And that's what I learned here. One of my biggest learning lessons was just being able to have those discussions and show people how they're going to make their return back. It was a blessing. You can't just tell somebody, "Oh, give me a couple of thousand and I'll get you back later." No, you got to have it systematically done. So, yeah.
Awesome. Excellent. Yeah, we're going to get to the numbers here in just a second. How did you find your cleaning person again? Did you go online?
Oh, that's another website. What site was that? What site was that? I think Yvonne might remember. I think it was. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. Oh man, Turnover B&B. That's what it was.
Repeat that again.
Turnover B&B, I believe it is. I think it's
Turnover B&B. Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of little niche sites because of the short-term minimum market. So yeah. And
Awesome.
And speaking with her, I got her from there, and then I took her off site, which you shouldn't do, but I did because she was really good. And she's my person, my go-to person.
Excellent. She have the capacity, if you decide to add another property in that area, since you love Richmond so much, does she have that capacity to be your cleaner there as well?
Yeah, she lives in Virginia Beach, so she'll drive about an hour or 2 to get there, but she's thorough.
Wow.
I've called her one time I texted her by accident to see if she can come on a Friday, and it was a 2-day notice, and she was like, "Yeah, I'll be there." And I'm like, "Wow," it was the wrong person. long story. And second of all, my property manager, I told the both of them about me expanding because I want to duplicate what I have here. And I also want to, accommodate different individuals. Like there's males that come in the area and I don't want to switch male with female. So I am looking for, pet owners. I want to make sure that HomeAway companies can accommodate anybody who comes in the area. So that's my goal.
Absolutely. And so you've mentioned also that you've put this on Airbnb and VRBO and CHBO, corporate housing by owners. So you will rent the whole house out
Yes.
as well.
Yeah, I currently have it. That's the fine line of I have it listed twice on Airbnb because I want to have it one for a share and one for the full place because I always want to have it booked at all times. But yeah, that's what I do. How much extra would I charge for pets? Interesting.
Yeah.
Probably like 300 or 400. I'm gonna make it really. I'm going to make it an upsell. I mean, I'm not sure how a pet's going to deal with being there all day, and I want to make sure there's no damage. And if you're really serious about your pet, you'll spend extra money. That's another way to add some add-ons and actually add to your cash flow.
Yeah. So let's go ahead. We're about getting close to quarter to the hour. If you want to pull up your slide and we'll go over some numbers for everybody.
Sure.
And then if they've got any questions, we can go through those and then final remarks and comments. Again, the pictures look great and you can tell a difference in those first pictures you showed.
Yeah, right.
The last pictures you showed as far as the professionalism on a
yes.
And I've heard people talk about that. Like, I don't want to spend $100 or $150 for professional pictures. And I kind of think to myself, wow, you're really trying to cut it that tight. You won't spend, I mean, it makes all the difference in the world. Just like when you're doing a flip, you've done flips, and you go to stage your property and take professional pictures. I mean, if you just post pictures, from your camera trying to do a flip, it's all the difference in the world. So I'm glad you shared those with us.
Yeah, well, again, I just did that this week, and I couldn't even imagine. I was like, wow, that's my property. He made it look amazing. I fell in love with my property all over again. So yeah,
Scott Eagleson from up in Connecticut, New Hampshire area. He just said he spent $400 on pictures, and I've heard of that, Scott. I've heard people spending $500, $600, $700 on pictures. I think it depends on the market and the amount of pictures and the different angles. I've got a situation here locally where I've got someone that'll do it for $100 to $150. And
can I share a nugget? I'll share a nugget.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, please do.
I paid $149, just like the same price as you paid. Snapper.com. Snapper. SNAPPR. I wish I had a sales link. Snapper.com. I love it. Great site. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and go over the numbers, Ron, if we could.
There you go. That's the numbers. I call it a midterm rental because I'm not doing I have no intent on doing nightly rentals. I think that's a lot of work, a lot of cleaning, and it's a lot of turnover. I like long-term 30+ days minimum with my property. So I call it a midterm rental strategy. I had the master lease, and I did the first month rent and security, which was $2,000. Furniture paintings came a little bit under $5,000, it was $4,000. And the lease option payment was per month is $1,000 a month. I pay for all the utilities. My total expenses with property manager, cable, insurance, water is about $1,650, somewhere around. It fluctuates, but somewhere around there. And then currently I was getting 12 and 13 per bedroom. No, sorry, not so. It was 11 and 12 at the time. Per bedroom, 11 for the full bedroom, 12 for the queen, and my estimated cash flow is about $650.
Nice. So your $1,650 is your all-in overhead. That's everything. It's your internet, it's your insurance, it's your
Gardener,
all your,
gardener,
yeah, yeah, utilities, everything.
yeah.
All right, it's fabulous. Yeah, so cash flow 650 a month.
Mhm.
Well, that's excellent. That's one property. And I heard you want to make this duplicatable and be able
Yes.
to continue to add properties just like this.
Yeah, now that I kind of understand it, again, it's all about understanding and knowing what the market calls for, and just seeing there's still a need there, and I have people in place that are willing to do it. I talked to my property manager about it because that's important, because if I can't run back and forth to VA, so as long as she's willing to do that and take the time, and she seems like she's really good, really diligent. I'll duplicate it. So I have a line on a property. I have a flipper who's finishing up the property, and I'm gonna probably rent hers out. It's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. It's in a little nicer neighborhood, so I may charge a little different for that one.
Yeah. So yeah, great comment from Scott Eagleson. So 650 a month cash flow plus all the tax benefits that you get.
Yeah, yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Now, one of the things that you let everybody know during this property tour was that you're trying to take like the office, you're trying to like increase ways to generate more income.
Yeah,
So this figure could potentially go up for you as well.
yeah. I like to keep my numbers
I mean,
conservative. Yeah,
yes.
I like my numbers conservative, and I think I'm thinking about making, because there is a big need for pets. So I'm thinking about, because this has hardwood floors and I think the new place is gonna have all rugs. I think I want to make this place pet friendly, and I think this is where I'm gonna increase my income to maybe $300 or $400 a month with the pet. I'm gonna allow pets here in this one, and I'm gonna create add that day bed, and maybe update the washer and dryer. I think I can add some more income that way, because the washer and dryer is a little old, so I'm not going to go crazy with it. But at some point in the line, I'm going to do that as well. So
Very
yeah,
nice. And now this flip that you're looking at about potentially renting that out, will you do midterm on that as well?
yeah, I'll do midterm on that one. I may do the whole house on that one, because I think that's a 3-bed, 1 bath. But my property manager, again, I lean on her a lot because she's from the area. She said, Ron, that's a great area. People, a lot of demand for that area. So I'm gonna try the whole house, that one, maybe do two plus tenants in that one. And have a decor and really make that upscale. I'm gonna try to make that one more upscale. So we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, Ron, this has been a fantastic property tour. I mean, you have shared so many golden nuggets, and I just love how you talked early on when you were first introducing yourself, a little bit about your story, about when you first got connected to our community, and you felt and said some of the same things I felt and said to myself when I first found this group. And one of them was you talked about how everybody was so open with you. And they're like, hey, yeah, we're just going to share the whole deal with you. Come and we'll share the numbers. We'll share, golden nuggets and things about how we did the deal. And you were like, wow, you're going to share all that. And you've done that exact same thing today. You've shared a lot of information in a very short period of time. It's been, I feel it's been very helpful for me and my business, but I'm sure it's going to be for others that are on the line. So I do want to thank you for that, and tip my hat to you, because you were very open, and you just were just a plethora of information. And so as we wrap up here, Ron, it's about 10 till the hour. If you could take this last 5 minutes or so, and kind of talk to people that are on today that are thinking about doing short-term rentals. Maybe they haven't pulled the plug yet, or pulled the switch on it yet and started it. Maybe they haven't even got connected to our community yet, or our group. What would you say to folks today, to help them get started, to get involved into short-term rentals? Could you comment on that a little bit?
Sure. I also want to backtrack a little bit, because there's one thing that I didn't mention, is that during this process, when I was nervous and this property fell in my lap, and you get paralysis analysis, it benefited a lot to have team members like Jason and Joe Styles and Tamara to just piggyback off, seeing that they're having success, being around them on a daily basis. Again, these people are now my new family. I speak to them literally every day about my business, and it's great to be around business-minded people. So my first tip for anybody out there who's thinking about investing in real estate is to be around people who are in real estate and focused on that, because that's going to help on days when you're not sure what to do. That's going to help on days when you fall back to your old habits of, well, it's not for me. So be around people who are going to push you and motivate you. And my team constantly does that. So that's the intrinsic value that you really can't quantify. Second thing is get knowledge. Get knowledge. I know it sounds corny. Get knowledge, because it's really going to benefit you, because it's going to come apart in your deal. You know, you're doing it on your own with YouTube and books, that you don't know what you don't know. And where do you go? That book is not going to be with you with the seller. That book is not going to be there. A YouTube video is not going to be there at closing table. And everybody at the closing table is going to make money, and nobody's going to stop the money train and tell you that, wait a minute, maybe run your numbers again. So just my biggest thing is just get knowledge, be around people, get a mentor, get their system. And our system is awesome. Check it out. Again, I am biased. I state my bias early, but it has transformed my life. I am running my business from home in another state. That's awesome. I don't have to get out of bed and do anything. And you could have the same thing too. So I got off track, but I just want to share that with somebody out there who might need to hear it. I was a cautionary tale. I tried to do it on my own, and it's really tough. It's a really long road. So.
Well, that was fantastic. I really, Ron, appreciate you sharing that bit of wisdom there, and you know, getting connected. You know, what is that saying that the people that are around you are gosh, I just went blank like you did earlier on that link. The influence, the people around you of influence.
Yeah.
How's that go, Ron? You know what I'm saying? Is, you know, encircle yourself with people that have done this business, that have not only done it, but have been successful. Because here's the really neat thing about folks in our community, and this is what I saw really early on, Ron, and I bet you did too, is the folks that were successful were willing not only to share the golden nuggets, they also shared their mistakes.
Yes.
So you could learn from those. And because, you know, you talked about real estate and talked about how there's no ceiling and there's also a floor to it. You know, you are going to make mistakes in this business. You just don't want to make big mistakes, costly mistakes that really affect the deal and affect you financially. But you are going to make mistakes. Is that not correct, Ron? You're going to make mistakes.
Yes, you're going to make mistakes, but it's good to have a team member like you, like Scott. I have, yes, I mean, so many people in our community we can go to who have the experience and ask them a question. And that's the great thing about our community. Our doors are always open. You can ask anybody a question at any time. And that's what we try to do in our community. Just make sure that you have an open door to ask those questions and help you out. And not be in your pockets and not try to JV everything.
Yeah, there you go.
Every question is not a JV. Every question is not a
JV. Yeah, like, you know, hey, I'll help you analyze the deal. Oh, this is a great deal, but I want
JV.
part of it. Yeah, exactly. That's right. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious, Ron. Because,
every question is not a JV. That's the biggest takeaway from it.
That happens in the world. So,
it happens.
Well, Ron, I'm just so blessed that you were able to join us today and share your story, share your just who you are. And I mean, I think people on today really got a good feel for you. And, you know, I can't wait to have you out, you know, in another quarter or so. Maybe we can show another deal or so, if you don't mind. And again, everybody that's on, we've had a good group of people. We were at one point over 150 people on today, Ron. From all over the country. And so if you're new to the community and you want to learn more about a lot of the things that Ron talked about today, and, you know, the knowledge and the community and the sport and things like that. We do have that introduction meeting that's live. It's on Zoom. It's a different link. So you need to get back who invited you to this property tour, and they could do that. But we also, if you say, oh man, I would love to, but I've got to go right to something else after this, I get you. So we have those type of introductions throughout the week. And Saturday, we'll have one again right after the property tour. We want to invite everybody back out next Saturday that was on today, because we'll be featuring a different investor from a different part of the country. And, but, again, Ron, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody.
Thank you guys for
out there
having me.
joining us. You bet. We're going to have you out again. I'll be, how I
Yes.
am. I'll be dinging you here in a couple months going, let's get you on the schedule, Ron. Let's get you on the schedule. So, thank you again. Have a great Saturday. Everybody's on. Have a great Saturday. And gosh, Christmas is right around the corner.
Yeah.
But, finish the year strong, everybody. I'm sure everybody's working on their 2023 goals. And, it's never too late to get a great year going here. So thank you very much, Ron. Be blessed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a
Talk
great
to
day.
you later.
All right.
Bye-bye, guys.